So, students, in this session, we are going to discuss various properties of lanthanides because in our previous session we have discussed about what is Havelock elements, why are they called intertransition elements, then their atomic number, then their symbols, then their electronic configuration and oxidation states. So, here see cerium having atomic number 58, the first element of the lanthanide series. It has electron configuration 4f1, 5d1, 6s2. So the oxidation number, the predominant oxidation number or oxidation state exhibited by lanthanoids is +3. Apart from that, this cerium also exhibits +4 oxidation state. +4 oxidation state. Now next one is 59, because if it loses, before going to 59 I have to say that if it loses +4 electrons, this 2 + 1 + 3, it will get F0 configuration, which is the stable configuration. In coming to praseodymium, it is having the configuration as 4f3, 5d0, 6s2. Why 4f not 2? Why 3? Because this 3 F3 configuration gives stability to the element. So that is why +3 oxidation state is the most predominant. And +4 oxidation state is endowed oxidation state. +4 oxidation state is endowed oxidation state. That is why I have represented it in brackets or parentheses. So +4 oxidation state is endowed oxidation state. Now coming to neodymium, it is 4f4, 5d0, 6s2. So oxidation state is +3. Promethium 4d5, 5d0, 6s2. Oxidation state is +3. Samarium 4f6, 5d0, 6s2, +3. Apart from that, it also exhibits +2 oxidation state. +2 oxidation state, which is endowed oxidation state. That is why I am representing it in brackets or parentheses. Coming to europium, it also exhibits +3 oxidation state, but it is prominent to exhibit, or it is prone to exhibit +2 oxidation state. See why? See, if it loses this 2 electron only, it will get 4f7 configuration, which is the stable configuration. That is why for europium, 4f7 configuration is the stability. That is why it exhibits, is more prone to exhibit +2 oxidation state rather than +3 oxidation state. The 64 gadolinium, it is 4f7, 5d1, 6s2. Now one electron here it should be 4f8. It should not be, it should be 5d0, but instead of having 4f8, it is having 4f7 and 5d1. One electron is jumping to d orbital to have this stable configuration, and the oxidation state which is exhibited by it is +3. Then coming to terbium is 4f9, 5d0, 6s2. Oxidation state is +3 and +4. See, 9 + 2 we are having 11 electrons. So if it loses 4 electrons, it will attain 4f7 configuration, which is the stable configuration. So it is more prominent to exhibit +4 oxidation state. It is more prominent to exhibit or more prone towards +4 oxidation state. Dysprosium, it is having 4f10, 5d0, 6s2 +3 oxidation state. Holmium 67 atomic number, it is having oxidation state 4f11, 5d0, 6s2, and oxidation state is +3. 68 is erbium, which is 4f12, 5d0, 6s2, and +3 oxidation state. 69 is thulium, which is 4f13, 5d0, 6s2. So apart from exhibiting +3 oxidation state, it also exhibits as doubtful +2 oxidation state. So since it is endowed oxidation state, so I am representing it in parentheses. Okay, so I am representing it in parentheses. Then coming to 70 atomic number, white erbium, we have 4f14, 5d0, 6s2. So it is now also more prominent to exhibit plus 2 oxidation state, or more prone towards plus 2 oxidation state, because see here, if we have 4F14, then that means F14 configuration, so it is the stable configuration. And coming to lutetium, which is atomic number 71, we have 4F14, 5D1, 6S2. But by this rule, it should be 4F15. But if F orbitals can accommodate maximum of 14 electrons, so one electron will jump to d orbital, and also to acquire extra stability, because F7, F0, F7 and F4 configuration gives the stability, so it will have 4F14, and the oxidation state, more prominent oxidation, dominant oxidation state is plus 3. So this is all about oxidation states and atomic number and symbol of lanthanides or lanthanoids. So these lanthanoids in plus 4 oxidation state, lanthanoids in plus 4 oxidation state is a strong oxidizing agent, or they can act as a strong oxidizing agent. For example, cerium 4 plus is a good oxidizing agent. Why good oxidizing agent? In doing so, the element will change its oxidation states from plus 4 to plus 3. On the other hand, lanthanoids in plus 2 oxidation state, lanthanoids in plus 2 oxidation state, here coming here, lanthanoids in plus 2 oxidation state, so in exhibiting plus 2 oxidation state, it can act as a strong reducing agent. For example, samarium plus 2, europium plus 2, then terbium plus 2 and ytterbium plus 2. So they can act as a good reducing agent in aqueous solution. In doing so, these elements will change their oxidation state from plus 2 to plus 3. It change the oxidation state from plus 2 to plus 3. Now we will discuss the next property of lanthanoids is magnetic properties. So next point is magnetic properties. Now this regarding magnetic properties, so in tripositive lanthanoid ions, the number of electrons regularly increases. The number of unpaired electrons regularly increases. That is, it increases from cerium to gadolinium. That is, number of unpaired electrons 1 to 7 it is increasing. Okay. So since there are number of unpaired electrons, so the elements will be paramagnetic in nature. Means these elements will be attracted highly by the magnet. And from gadolinium, that is from terbium to lutetium, these number of unpaired electrons decreases. That is, it decreases from 7 to lutetium 0. So the elements, the number of unpaired electrons will decrease, so the magnetic property will also decrease. And cerium 4 plus and ytterbium 2 plus, cerium 4 plus and ytterbium 2 plus. See, we can show it here. Cerium 4 plus and ytterbium 2 plus. So in cerium 4 plus we will have F0 configuration, and ytterbium 2 plus we will have F14 configuration. So since these do not have any unpaired electrons, so these will behave as diamagnetic substance or diamagnetic elements. Okay. Next comes another property is color. So as there are number of unpaired electrons in lanthanoids, or the number of unpaired electrons increases progressively as we move from left to right in the lanthanoid series, so the number of unpaired electrons will increase, and then first it will increase and then it will decrease. So these lanthanoids can exhibit like DD transition, they can also exhibit FF transition. They can also exhibit FF transition. So since they can exhibit FF transition, so they will show color. Okay, as the phenomenon is same as we have explained in d block elements. Now the ions with 4Fn configuration have Fn configuration have similar color. Fn configuration have with similar color to those ions having 4F14-N configuration. 4F14-N configuration. Okay. So this is all about color. Next, a very important point which we are going to discuss is lanthanoid contraction. Lanthanoid contraction. Lanthanoid contraction. So as we move from left to right in the periodic table in the lanthanoid series, LU should be LU, cerium to lutetium, the number of electrons in d orbitals are going on increasing and increasing one by one progressively. The number of electrons in d orbitals will increase one by one. So the effective nuclear charge, that is attraction between nucleus and electron, this effective nuclear charge will increase. The effective nuclear charge will increase. Thereby, nucleus will shrink the atom towards itself. The nucleus will shrink the atom towards itself, thereby decreasing the atomic or ionic radii of the element. So it is seen that if cerium have atomic radii 106 picometer, and coming to lutetium we have atomic or ionic radii which is 86 picometer, means there is nearly 20 picometer decrease along the series. 20 picometer decrease, there is nearly 20 picometer decrease. This decrease in ionic or atomic radii in lanthanoid series in moving from left to right is called lanthanoid contraction. So now question is, what is the cause of this contraction? Now question is cause. See, as this is nucleus, so suppose this is shell, number of shells, so there will be effective nuclear charge will come into existence, so the atomic or ionic radii will decrease. But as is seen in d block elements that this so as the number of electrons are increasing in the shells, so one electron will feel that another electron has put one shield in between nucleus and that electron, and which is called shielding effect. But so the atomic radii should, or atomic or ionic radii should now increase as the number of electrons are going on increasing one by one from 1 to 14. It is increasing definitely. So up to 1 to 7 I think it will decrease because of effective nuclear charge. Then finally after 7 it will try to increase because of shielding effect. But F electrons, 4F electrons have very poor shielding effect, have very poor shielding effect, So that is why these 4F electrons, since they have very poor shielding effect, so effective nuclear charge will become dominant. Effective nuclear charge will be greater than this shielding effect. Okay. So since effective nuclear charge will become dominant, so there will be decrease in atomic or ionic radii in the lanthanide series. I repeat again, what is the cause of lanthanide contraction? What is the lanthanide contraction? The decrease in atomic radii or ionic radii along the series in lanthanide series, in moving from left to right, is known as lanthanoid contraction. And as the number of electrons are increasing progressively by one, so the effective nuclear charge will increase. So there will be decrease in the atomic or ionic radii. But as the number of electrons go on increasing from progressively one by one, so from suppose from 8 to 14, so this electron will feel that, outermost electron will feel that some electron is put on shield in between nucleus and electron, so there will come into existence shielding effect. So the atomic radii should increase now, but the cause is slightly different in case of lanthanoids. Since 4f electrons have very poor shielding effect, so the shielding effect will not be dominant as the effective nuclear charge. So there will be constant decrease in the atomic or ionic radii. And this is very important question for your board exam. What is lanthanoid contraction? What is lanthanoid contraction and contraction? And next question is, what are its causes? What are its causes? Okay, so this is a very important question so far as board exam is concerned. This is NCERT question, NCERT or board question. Okay, so with this I want to end my lecture or class here today. Next we will discuss some more for lanthanides, and then we will go to actinoids or actinides. So thank you my dear students, wish you all the best.